the time I come to Dubai, it's raining. How come?
Leaning Tower of Pisa. I really wanted to do the holding it up picture trend, but I don't think I'm that big of a tourist. I think I'll just admire it from afar. Honestly, it's a lot taller than I expected, but it's very beautiful. Look at my mom, guys. Look at this.
Okay, so the way I'm filming has definitely declined, but I sincerely apologize for that. I just want to make sure that I'm basically going literally everywhere. I'm currently in Florence right now. Like, I was in Rome, and then I'm going to Venice tomorrow, and then I'm going to Milan the next day. It's a lot to film, you guys, so enjoy this 25-minute video still, please. Tonight is my last night in Italy. As you can see, like, I'm all packed up and I'm just ready to go. I'm really grateful this year that I was able to not only come to Italy, but also like visit all the different places that I was able to visit. And I mean, I visited 5 cities in the span of like 10 days, and that's honestly crazy. Like, every time my friends text me, I'm always somewhere not in like the one place I told them I would be at, which is Rome. Just to recap, I first stopped at Rome. I think we spent about 4 days there, and obviously I visited the Vatican, and then I think we just kind of walked around Rome. And I think it was one of the highlights was that every single building, like, you could just see it, and every single building there has its own little history. And I think it's such a beautiful place. I think I've said this before, but it's a historical monument citywide. The whole entire time I was just kind of thinking to myself, like, how much would it cost to live here? How much would it cost to go to uni here? What if I go for my master's here? What if I get a job here? How much is the minimum wage and everything? And I just I feel like with every place I visit, I always kind of imagine myself living there and see how I would feel just imagining it. And I think Rome was definitely one of the places that I feel like I could definitely live in. And then next we went to Napoli. I kid you not, my family and I have an agreement that we will only visit Napoli for the pizza. We just want to try the pizza. And honestly, the pizza was amazing. It was one of the tastiest pizzas I've ever had. It wasn't too soggy, it wasn't too hard, it wasn't like the weird, like the typical American pizza that you would definitely order on like Pizza Hut or Domino's. I think they only had like 4 different types of pizzas that they were serving, like literally just 4 items on a menu. Like, I think that's one of the best indicators of like that's a good pizza place, because they've been serving for such a long time just the same exact menu, and it hasn't changed. And then we went to Florence. Florence was so beautiful. Honestly, like, I don't know if I'm sure you've seen the view outside of my hotel room, and it was one of the most beautiful views ever. I think definitely like that was the biggest highlight, other than obviously celebrating Christmas and celebrating my mom's birthday in Florence. But I feel like Florence was overall very beautiful. Unfortunately, it was a little bit rainy every single day that we were there, which was 3 days, I think. So it was very, very cold. But hey, I packed a -20 jacket just in case. So I was completely fine. My mom, on the other hand, she was freezing her off. And then we went to Venezia for 1 day, literally 1 day. We went to Venezia, we stayed 1 night. So we stayed in a hotel in a town or a city called Mestre. And then we had to drive into Venice, because obviously Venice is a very hard place to stay in, and I was not about to drag my luggage around the city. It's a very big city. But honestly, Venice was, I feel like I've always wanted to visit Venice since I was a little kid, and so I feel like being there was kind of a surreal moment, but I think it was absolutely beautiful. And I feel like it was a lot colder just because I think we were near the water, but it was so beautiful. Everyone was so nice, and the food was absolutely amazing. I had these lamb chops, and they were amazing. They were so tender. They were great. And I feel like I've said the word amazing about 10 times now, but that's truly what it is. It was amazing, you know. And then after Venezia, we are here in Milano. I think it's more of a metropolitan for sure. There's so many different people coming in and out of Milan, and I feel like if I lived here as an international student, it would obviously, I would feel like it would fit a lot better than, like, compared to all the other cities that I visited. But obviously it costs a lot more. But I think it's such a beautiful metropolitan city, and you know, there's always something to do, I feel like. But then I like kept walking, and there was just so many different things, and I just got a bunch of chocolate for my friends and my family as like a souvenir, and I thought it was like, wow, like this is great. I went to this like literally like Willy Wonka store, and it was like massive, and had chocolate and candies everywhere. It was so beautiful. And honestly, Milan being the north of Italy, I thought it would be much colder, but to be completely honest with you, I found Rome, which is way in the south, a lot colder than Milan. I was completely fine walking around Milan. Even at one point I started to release my jacket. Like I started to take off my jacket because I was sweating. But my mom, on the other hand, she's generally very warm-blooded, so she was freezing the whole entire time she was basically in this country. I mean, looking back at it, like, it's definitely kind of a once-in-a-lifetime trip. I feel like I would have never been able to do something like this without my parents, so I'm really grateful to them. And I'm grateful to God for giving my parents basically the blessing to go on this trip as a family. Yeah. I'm going to miss this place. I'm going to miss Italy, but I will be back. I promise that. I actually wrote on a card and that I kept somewhere in my suitcase that it's a promise that I will be back if God is willing to give me the opportunity again. So thank you, Italy. Thank you, all the hosts on the Airbnbs. Thank you to all the restaurants. Thank you to all the people that basically talked to me in Italian, and I tried my best to respond to them, but obviously I wasn't doing very well. Thank you to everybody that watches this video. When I first started this channel, really, like, it was when I went to Australia, and to be completely honest, I just wanted to kind of start this digital diary about like the places that I've been to, just as something to look back on, you know. But I mean, guys, like, I feel like I wouldn't say it's a calling, but the year I decided to kind of start a traveling YouTube channel, even though it's like not necessarily a traveling YouTube channel, I went to 3 countries this year, which I think is, I wouldn't say it's a calling, but it's definitely, I think it's for me to start up this channel, I feel like it was kind of manifesting that I will be traveling almost, if not all the time. I mean, I'm literally going to Malaysia in January, which I'm sure I will make a video on that. I'm going to Malaysia for a conference, and I'm going to be doing a video of that, of course. So if you're here for the first time, welcome. If you're not here for the first time, or you're one of my friends, welcome as well. Welcome back. I hope that I get to travel more in the future, because I feel like, you know, traveling, and I feel like the world is so full of knowledge, and I feel like as an individual we would be extremely arrogant to kind of ignore it and not want to learn about it, and not want to indulge in the knowledge that is literally offered, and not want to kind of immerse yourself in the different cultures, the different lifestyles. You can definitely live vicariously by living in other countries, you know what I'm saying?